So Tom Clancy Division talks about the new seasons, and they posted it on Twitter, guys, so that we're going to dive into this right now. Some of you guys have seen this live with me on stream, and obviously we're going to be diving into it now. So it says Seasons 2.0 fact. They just posted this, I want to say at 1:15 p.m. Eastern time. So about an hour ago. It says, got questions about Season 2.0? We've compiled answers to answer your burning questions in our latest fact article, including how seasonal characters will work alongside enhance your main characters. All right. So they're saying it's going to work alongside your characters, not get rid of your characters. I guess that's what they're kind of going for here. All right, so we have Division 2 Seasonal 2.0. They talk about the WONI expansion, so that's Warlords of New York. Seasonal and non-seasonal characters, Manhunt 2.0, Seasonal Journey, PvP, multiplayer, and matchmaking. Oh, PvP, they're going to talk about that? Okay. It says, agents, we heard your concerns regarding the introduction of seasonal characters in the Division 2 with Season 2.0 later this year. We want to clarify how seasonal characters will impact your existing main characters and answer a few questions about Season 2.0. All right. The main idea behind Season 2.0 was to break away from the current repetitive seasonal model by transforming the entire experience. And I just kind of explained that, right? I don't think I'm the only veteran player who kind of thinks like that. Like, what are we grinding for anymore, right? Do the seasons, get on, do the seasons again, the same seasons, the same, like, there has to be some type of, they got to spice it up a little for it to make sense, right? I think we can all agree at that in this chat, right? With your main characters, we need to consider various progressions and power levels, making it nearly impossible to create a well-balanced experience that is enjoyable for all. Starting all players at level 1 ensures that we have a clear understanding of where they are in their progress journey when faced with specific challenges. To put it simply, in order to craft challenging with precision, we need a fresh start. So pretty much they summed up what they really wanted to say here is for them to create something that is challenging to the players. Well, we need a fresh start so that they can balance it, because right now we know we have expertise 26. Obviously, everything has gotten so easy. There's people doing incursions, legendaries in like 5, 8, 10 minutes with simply no effort, right? And I guess what they want to do is kind of balance everything so it's a little bit more challenging. People enjoy it. We'll see what they end up doing here. But we're going to continue on. It says, additionally, season resets bring another layer of excitement since modifiers are phased out at the end of each season, giving us the freedom to impact gameplay far beyond what permanent mechanics would allow us. So that is actually pretty cool. I thought that was actually a cool thing. Modifiers will change each season. Hopefully that gives us something to grind each season, right? It feels different playing, and hopefully as they add content into that, the modifiers will add on top of that. Now it says, we omitted one important detail from year 6 introduction. With the revamped season progression, you will have the opportunity to bring your main character into the last 2 weeks of each season, known as intermission. The intermission allows you to revisit your main character with new content and season progression, using your current arsenal for experimentation, strategy, and dominance. At the start of the intermission, all rewards earned with seasonal characters, including shade levels, proficiency ranks, stash items, collectibles, will be transferred to your main characters. So once the intermission starts at the last 2 weeks, you're going to be able to get all your shade levels, all your proficiency ranks, all your stash items, and those collectibles will be on your main character. So it's almost like if we have a really super mule, like if you guys don't know, a lot of players, as I was doing on stream not too long ago, I make an extra character to use that Shade Watch to buy points so that I can use those into my expertise, right? I buy printer filaments. Now, this is like almost like a better way to give you something else to grind. And then you can still use your other characters if you still want to do mule characters or you want to play in DZ, whatever. It's not like those characters are going to go away, but this content will be tied to this specific character. I don't think that is a bad idea. I think that's kind of cool. We still gain everything that we earn, just goes to our main character. The transfer ensures that your main character will be more powerful than ever to prepare to tackle the season's climax normal master difficulty. We do know that there is a new difficulty coming called master difficulty, and that's supposed to be scaled to 4 people, and it's supposed to be harder. So should you choose to experience the remainder of the season with your main agent, get ready to see your favorites in a whole new way. Now, during this time, the seasonal characters will be added to your roster, giving you the option to play the season's climax mission with either seasonal characters or preferred main character. And they said that already. In Season 2.0, season characters progression is significantly sped up, allowing you to reach level 40 more quickly and gain shade levels at a faster rate. We saw that we did it in 3 hours from 31 to 40, and if they're going to speed that up, it might be significantly better. And I think I probably could have did it in an hour and a half if I would have just stuck in the DZ. You guys saw I was farming the DZ, and we got our character from 34 to, I want to say 40 in about 45 minutes, maybe a little more. So maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. We probably cut it down to 2 hours, I would think, maybe. But if this is faster, maybe you can get to the whole thing maybe 4 hours, 1 through 40, maybe less, depending on what you want to do. Now, it does say the progress will be shared with your main character at the start of the intermission. Expertise upgrades will not be available in seasonal characters, and that's so that they're able to balance. We know that expertise was a power creep, and now it's just getting out of hand. 26% extra weapon damage on your weapons. It's kind of crazy. Instead, the Shade Watch bonuses will be increased to account for the missing power coming from the expertise. Oh, but we will be able to get more power off our Shade Watches. Okay. Proficiency can still be earned by seasonal characters and will be merged at the end of each season. Please note that proficiency alone does not impact gameplay. Finally, as a seasonal character progresses to level 40, they will not have to complete the entire campaign again. Thank you. Instead, they will have the freedom to choose which content they experience without worrying about completing certain missions for specific unlocks. So that is actually really good, because it seems like if you just want to be in the DZ the whole time, you might be able to just go 1 through 40, or maybe do half in the open world and go to DZ like I did for 30 to 40. That is really cool. You don't have to complete the campaign. Just play it however you want. I like that. However, there's more to the upcoming changes than just transitioning to seasonal characters. We will share you detailed information by hosting the live Q&A sessions, our PTS, and during various live streams in the coming months. We know we're like about 4 months, a little bit under. And we encourage you to explore Year 6 Season 1 First Rogue page. We already read that. So they answered some other questions that a lot of people had. They talk about Warlords of New York expansion. It says, is Warlords of New York expansion now free for all players? Warlords of New York DLC continues to be paid content. You guys can get it for like $7 on Ubisoft Store or in the thing. If you guys want to help me out, use code SKILLS. I'm a Ubisoft partner. I have my official code, creator code. You'll code SKILLS. And just skills, and it helps support me. So if you guys like my content, want to support me, that's an easy way if you end up getting any content from Ubisoft. The key change that came with the one endgame update is owning Warlords of New York is no longer a requirement to reach level 40. We know that. I think that's a great change. Now we'll just have a bunch of level 40s instead of level 30 with gear score and then level 40. Because I used to have people say, yo, Skills, do you have any builds for gear score 500? But now everybody will be level 40. Everybody would be on one page, and it's good. It says, and access endgame content such as gear, game modes, and manhunts. What content remains locked behind Warlords of New York? Skills, story missions, New York map remain exclusive to the expansion. Now, there are only 3 skills, I believe: Repair Trap, Shrapnel Trap, and EMP Stickies. These skills are tied to specific bosses in Warlords of New York expansion, so you won't have those. If you want those, if you want access to the area of New York City, well, you need to make sure that you get Warlords. Now, will New York map remain accessible for playing Legacy Manhunts? Players without the ownership of Warlords of New York will not have access to Legacy Manhunt missions set in New York. If they attempt to fast travel to the climax location, they will receive an in-game notification. So just so you know, if you guys want to stay up, I think it's $7. Get it, and then you'll be up to date. Seasonal and non-seasonal characters, will we be given extra stash space or extra character slots? In addition to character slots, will be added to support Season 2.0 along with an extra storage space. So we get extra storage space. However, it is worth noting that no extra slots will be added for each individual season. Okay, so you get extra storage space. You do get one extra slot. Now, if you want to continue on, you're going to have to delete that slot, and that's what they say. Do I need to delete a character when this new season starts, when all my slots are occupied? As additionally, slots will not be provided for each season. You will need to choose which character to retain in your Manhunt roster. Starting with Year 6, Season 2, you can have up to 5 characters. For instance, in the beginning of Year 6, Season 2, if you already have 4 characters, you can utilize an additional slot to add the 5th character for the season. However, If the 5th character at the end of year 6, season 2, you will need to remove one character. So I would probably just keep deleting that character over and over, depending. But I don't think I would keep that seasonal character. What is the point of keeping your main character if you can't use them for 90% of the future content coming in the game? That's a valid question. We have taken measures to ensure that both seasonal and non-seasonal characters have meaningful roles and cool things to do in the game. The current model reinforces the way a lot of players are using some characters as support for their main characters. Like I was just doing on stream. If you guys were watching my stream, I was doing a mule character, which we use for the watch, right? Same concept. I think you're just gonna have a 5th character to do a super mule, right? And at the end, you get all those levels. That's kind of a fair validation of what they're saying, right? Seasonal characters serve a similar purpose on top of facilitating an awesome experience in the seasons through manhunts, modifiers. Additionally, season characters also contribute to your overall account progression, which is represented through the power level of the main character. The main character remains the foundation of the account, enabling players to take on all challenges at the highest possible and difficulty levels. Furthermore, upcoming DLCs will present a chance to take on challenges with your primary character in correspondence power level. So the DLC, you're going to need that main character. Additionally, only non-seasonal characters will have access to legacy manhunts. So non-seasonal characters are the only ones that have access to legacy manhunts. You can't do those on seasonal. Will there be any new content for main non-seasonal characters? Non-seasonal characters will continue to have access to all existing game content, including Warlords in New York, upcoming DLC. Right now, there's no intention to introduce another incursion or raid. So I know a lot of you guys asked about more raids, more incursions. Well, no. Will seasonal characters have access to their existing recalibration library? The recalibration library will be shared between seasonal and non-seasonal characters. The only exception being seasonal specific gear. During the season, you can transfer season-specific gear talents to the library where they will be accessible to your main character at the beginning of the intermission. Okay, that's cool. So when you do get it at the beginning of the intermission, you can use that new gear. Will seasonal characters be able to use account-wide resource materials? Seasonal characters will have their own separate pool for shared resources and materials, which will not be shared with other That's almost like a hardcore. You couldn't share your resources. When I have all my inventory stash maxed out, will I lose the loot after season ends? At the seasonal characters is merged with my main regular roster. Once the season ends, the intermission begins. You will be awarded a temporary stash to facilitate the transition of seasonal items to the main pool. It is up to you to decide what you keep and what to discard or deconstruct during that process. However, please note that starting from year 6, season 3, it will still have items in your temporary stash. You'll be unable to create a new seasonal character. Oh, so you can't leave it in your temp stash. You need to have that 0. Hey, no more stash space, guys. How will my hardcore characters be impacted? At the start of each season, you will have the option to select either hardcore or regular seasonal characters. This choice provides the opportunity to add additional hardcore character to your roster. At the end of the season, when the seasonals and main characters combine, your existing hardcore character will retain its progression, which can be shared at the beginning of the intermission period, the final 2 weeks. So for you hardcore players, you can play. Hey, that's actually pretty cool. Will seasonal characters have access to global events? Global events, as they are right now, will remain exclusive to non-seasonal characters due to their incompatibility with seasonal progression and modifiers in the current state. They will adhere to the established rotation model already present in the game. Seasonal characters will eventually receive their own version of the global events tailored to enhance. So there you guys go. For you guys wondering, you still will only be able to play the global events on your main character. So kind of what you're doing now. So I guess we can't complain there. Manhunt 2.0. Will the new master difficulty be in any way available in the non-seasonal characters? Yes, climax missions on master difficulty will be available on both seasonal and non-seasonal characters during the intermission, a 2-week period between seasons. Why tie the manhunt to the seasonal characters? Participation. In Season 2.0, the optimal way to experience the story is through the seasonal structure, utilizing a character with the appropriate power level to capitalize on the features such as gameplay modifiers and seasonal items. The story will be adjusted to accommodate this new dynamic, with multiple agents fulfilling their roles throughout the season. However, after the season ends, players can opt for the climax mission using either their seasonal or primary. They keep saying that over and over. Okay, so seasonal journey. What will Season 2.0 consist of? There are 15 weeks of varied activities such as seasonal missions, seasonal projects, manhunt scouts, priority objectives to be completed with your seasonal characters, followed by a 2-week intermission period during which you can utilize your main character. Your non-seasonal characters can be accessed at any time during the season, but with no access to seasonal content except for the 2 weeks intermission. All right. Approximately how long is the accelerated grind from level 40 expected to take? Non-seasonal characters will take approximately 45 hours to complete, while seasonal characters were expected to take around 15 hours of the same activities. Does it take 45 hours to do a full 1 through 40? I mean, 15 hours is still, I guess I was off. Will the seasonal grind to level 40 consist of the same content activities, or will it be different each season? To reach level 40, the seasonal journey will act as a guide, providing simple and quick challenges that offer great completion rewards, while also aiding the player through unlocking key game systems. Additionally, at every point, players can complete variety of other activities in the game at an increased progression rate. Each season will feature unique season modifiers that affect both players and enemy NPCs, providing a different experience in each previous play content. That's cool. They're going to be switching up the NPCs. The seasonal modifiers are going to change the way it feels. The one concern is we're still going to be technically on the same missions, but we'll see. Will the seasonal story beats be introduced during level 1 through 40 grind, or will players need to reach level 40 to experience them? The updated season journey is Year 6. Season 2 will allow all players opportunity to experience the story. In other words, new story content is no longer locked behind level 40 characters. All right, that's cool. Will players have to reach level 40 to start collecting seasonal rewards? Seasonal rewards are not restricted to level 40. Various rewards unlocked through the seasonal journey, season pass, and other in-game systems are granted while leveling from 1 through 40. The Manhunt story will also gradually unfold through collectibles, allowing players to progress step by step. What happens with the seasonal collectibles during the intermission period, which occurs the final 2 weeks before the end of the season? All rewards obtained with the seasonal characters, such as shade levels, proficiency rate, stash items, collectibles, will be transferred over. And I feel like they keep answering over and over. We will get access to the Shade Watch. In Season 2.0, seasonal character progression is significantly sped up, allowing you to reach level 40 more quickly and gain shade levels at a faster rate. The progress will be shared with your main characters at the end of the season. However, fast progressions will only be possible up into a certain level. Upon reaching this shade level, progression will resume, so probably up to 40, and then after that. Why can't my existing level 40s characters engage in seasonal content? The main objective of Seasonal 2.0 is to ensure that all players can participate in endgame content on a level playing field, as well as allowing us to fine-tune experience based on more controlled progression. Allow modifiers and season resets, provide levers to ramp up gameplay challenges far beyond what a permanent mechanic would allow us, and they answered that earlier. They do say something about PvP, how will the introduction of seasonal characters affect PvP? Seasonal characters will only be able to matchmake with other seasonal characters at the appropriate power level, accounting for the level playing field. Okay, that's kind of cool. Will modifiers work both in PvE and PvP? Modifiers are PvE exclusive. Will seasonal characters have separate DZs? Yes, DZ pools are separate between seasonal and non-seasonal. And then multiplayer matchmaking, I'm assuming conflict. How will matchmaking introduce seasonal characters? Seasonal characters will be able to matchmake with other seasonal characters at the appropriate level, accounting for the level playing field season reset brings. And then it says, how do you plan to balance seasonal and non-seasonal instance? If the old gear aligns with the seasonal theme, we may rebalance and revamp it. Any changes that are deemed appropriate will also be applied to non-seasonal gear. Our aim is to maintain a balance between seasonal modifiers and seasonal gear. We encourage players to find powerful builds each season. So there was a lot of really good information in here. I got to know in the comments, what do you guys think? I wish I could have kept this live. The live actually cut down in the middle of this, so we ended up having to stream everything here. My thought on this is I'm not against seasonal characters after reading this. I do feel that main characters, well, now you can still have something to do. You're still going to have global events. You can still go into the dark zone and play against non-seasonal characters. You can still do legendary missions, which I believe you don't get to do legendary missions on non-seasonal characters. You can still do incursions and raids on non-seasonal characters. You still have the whole world to you. Again, they did tie Season 2.0 so that they can balance everything. I like their intent. It just seems where is the community gonna go? For me, I don't think this is a bad idea. I think it gave me something to grind because at the moment I'm burnt out for grinding the same thing over and over on my main account. And if I can grind something new, bring that over to my main account and give the shade levels and stuff like that, maybe I can finally get that account to expertise 26 now, now that I'm on PC. We'll see though. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Hey, this was a long video. Really good content here. If you guys want the link, I'll put the link in the description.